Hey there, folks. So apparently I've been muted. So let me recap quickly what I've been going over for the last few minutes. We are in the final stage. It is the six teams compete are moving on. You've got Goof Troop, LSA2, Obey, DTP, Tier 6, and Ace. The way the bracket looks on Challenge, it looks as if the way the numbers worked out, it's not necessarily going to be like a strict double eliminate or like a loser's bracket per se, where you lose once, you go to the loser's bracket, and you still have an opportunity to make it to the finals. The way it's looking now, the winner of the Goof Troop LSA 2 game will go on to play Tier 6, who has a bye. The winner of the Obey DTP game will go on to play Ace, who has a bye. Now, the winner of Tier 6 versus whoever they play, the winner of that goes to the finals, and the winner of the other game, Ace versus whoever they play, goes to the finals. The losers of those last games go on to play for the bronze match. So winner of that match gets third place. So it's gonna be interesting. Gives teams a little bit less leeway to kind of make mistakes. People are gonna have to play high and tight, and be on point. So I have a feeling all these teams have plans. They kind of think they know what they're going to do going into it, but as we all know, depending on the breakouts and how the players fall, you got to adapt, and we're going to see the best teams come out on top. So we're going to give the teams a few more minutes to get onto the field and get ready. But yeah, this game should be starting here pretty shortly. If you're just joining us, welcome. If you were here for the group stage, welcome back. One thing I'll go over, if you haven't seen it yet, is the layout has an interesting feature I call it a split snake. So the snake doesn't run the full length of the field, it stops halfway and then turns into a Dorito. So it makes for interesting gameplay. Teams are having to adapt to that and figure out really how to play it. And it's been fun to watch. A lot of times people kind of get to the end of that snake pretty quickly and then use that position to pick people off from across the field. And then we've seen a move or two where they push across that gap to the enemy team's side. So yeah, normally in the final stages, teams tend to slow down a little bit more because the risks are a lot higher. But I'm still expecting to see some nice flashy moves from some of these players out here. If you're here with us in the chat, let me get some predictions. Who y'all got taking this whole thing? Again, we had some pretty high-scoring games in the first group stage, and some high-scoring losses too. That's really the big key, is what teams can score a lot of points when they lose. Because it's great if you can win out, but in theory, you might lose a game or two, and when that happens, if you can still get a bunch of points, that's going to put you in the best position to move on to this final stage. Okay, we got DTP Ken in the chat. Y'all were fun to watch. Y'all were fun to watch for sure. DTP is one to keep your eye on. Do not sleep. They're going to be playing who in their first match? Let's see. I got to move on to the final stage. So that's going to be them and Obey. Obey have been putting up big numbers so far this event, so that's going to be a tough one for them, but nothing's impossible. Like I've said, any of these teams can take games off of each other with the right strat, so we will see who pulls it out. But it looks like the teams are starting to walk off to the wall and off the field from the little pregame brief. Looks like we're going to have Obey on the right side of the field, right side of your screen, with the red and black jerseys. And then on the left, we are looking at... It's Goof Troop wearing the Obey jerseys. I've been messing that up all day, but it's forgivable. They're wearing the same jerseys. Goof Troop on the right, and we got LSA 2 on the left. Let's see how fast or slow this first game of the knockout stage turns out to be. I'm sorry. Yeah, so now on your screen, right side of your screen, Goof Squad, left side of your screen, LSA. LSA 2. I'm just going to say LSA because there's not another LSA. See the refs over there checking the players, making sure they have the correct number of magazines. Nobody's carrying too many. You know, got to keep everybody honest out here. That's a big part of the game. One feature of CSL that you might not see in other leagues is only your barrel needs to be touching the wall. So you'll see some of these players kind of leading off the wall a little bit, but that's perfectly legal as long as their barrel's touching the breakout wall. Here we go. Final stage. We got LSA getting the flag off break. They get that, well, they get the flag off break. I see one player walking off for Goof Troop. Make that 2. LSA loses a player, though, in the process. I see the Goof Troop player and the Doritos still up. Otherwise, LSA's got that player in the center, the home full auto only bunker, and the D1 AirTag Customs bunker. They pick off a couple of Goof Troop players, and I think that's it. They're going to work their way down the field and just hang this flag for the first game. So first game goes to LSA, and reminder, this is based on record. So if LSA wins the next game, they advance. Goof Troop, if they win the next game, it's 1-1, and they'll go on to a third game to determine the winner. This time we got Goof Troop on the left side of the screen and right side of the screen, LSA. Alright, 20 seconds. And they're off. LSA to the flag off break again. Gets it clean, it looks like. Nobody goes down, 5v5. As I say that, LSA loses 2 players. Goof Squad loses 1. It looks like a 4v3 in favor of Goof Squad. LSA loses another. Runs down, kills the flag runner. And Goof Squad, with the heated end to the round, runs it down, kills the guy in the center. They have players left alive to pick up the flag and hang it. So we got a tie round here, 1-1. So we're gonna go to game 3, and the winner of that round, or that game, excuse me, is gonna move on to the semifinals. So this is do or die time for both of these teams here. The winning team advances. The losing team, from the looks of it, will be done for the day. So no one wants to make a mistake here. Let's see how aggressive or how conservative these teams are. Thank you, Amy. Appreciate it. Alright, game 3. Let's see what happens. Here we go. LSA, third time in a row, straight to the flag. I don't think any players have dropped yet, so it's 5 versus 5. Neither team giving an inch here. A Goof Squad player makes a move up to the D3, starting to get some field position. Oh, and that center flag player goes out for LSA. Goof Squad player goes down at the same time. LSA loses a second player. Goof Squad running down. LSA bumps wide to that tower, gets clipped. And Goof Squad sending it. Takes the player out with him. Goof Squad still got a man up. And he's going to go find that flag and hang it for this third round victory. So assuming nothing along the lines of penalties or something we couldn't see, it looks as if Goof Squad is going to advance to the semifinals. But that was a hard-fought match between these two teams. It was basically on a knife's edge. But again, you love to see the mix of aggression and being conservative. Like, you pick your time to be aggressive, and when you pick your time, you go all in. And I mean, that's kind of what we saw Goof Squad do in that last round, that last game. Still waiting for just full confirmation as to what the final result was. I will let you guys know as soon as that's confirmed through challenge. So up next, it might be confusing because they have the same jerseys, but we have a different team on the right side of your screen. We have Obey. On the left side of your screen, we have DTP getting ready for their first match of the knockout stage. So to recap, the winner of this match goes on to play in the semifinals. The loser of this match is done. So again, do or die time for both of these teams. And we're off. Neither team opting to go straight for that flag. DTP delays shortly and then goes in. Looks like a clean break for both teams. 5v5 situation. DTP loses their Dorito 2 bans by Burt player. So now it's a 5v4 in favor of Obey. Obey makes a move up to the Dorito 3, getting better field position. His back player takes his place at the D1. Oh, and DTP loses their center flag player as well. So I believe it's now 5v3 in favor of Obey. So you got this DTP player in the back right bunker. He's down on bodies, but if there's a bunker to be at, that's a good one. He's also got a home player. You see his head popping up from the jumps, trying to get information. The home player for which team is that? For DTP playing real far back on that home bunker. Depending on the angles, sometimes it's totally safe, so nothing wrong with it, by itself. Just interesting to see. Obey makes it to the flag, to the center of the field. And he's got support right behind him at that cube. Inside Snake as well, so they're in good positions to really hold this field down. Oh, and you see that move from DTP across the field. Does he make it clean? It doesn't look like he does. Or excuse me, that was Obey. I got my teams mixed up. And they are running this last guy down. And they're going to close it out. Obey taking the first round. Good stuff from both teams. DTP was able to hold out for a while in a down body scenario. Obey just ended up making the right moves in the end there and picking people off and was able to close it out. But not a blowout by any means. So interested to see what changes DTP makes to the strategy for round 2. Because again, if they lose this round, they are done for the day, and they do not want that. So I'd expect to see some changes made. Just a matter of what. Here we go. Again, neither player opting to go straight for that center flag, instead to the cube behind it. And then you've got Obey with the delay in there. Oh, I'm sorry, that's DTP that made it to the center flag. Alright, Obey loses their D2 player. And DTP loses their back right cube. They still have a Dorito 1 and a tower. As well as a Dorito 2. Now, I want to say their center player just made a tactical retreat to the cube behind, and they made that move clean. That's a smart move to make. And it looks like DTP's tower and the Obey D2 both trade out. Obey takes out that back cube player as well. So we might be in a 2 versus 1 situation with Obey being up, and that player from DTP just dropped. So they're going to run it down, grab the flag, and close this one out. Alright, so according to what we have just seen, it seems as if Obey will be moving on to the semifinals against Ace. And the bracket still hasn't updated yet, but we're still assuming that Goof Troop is moving on against Tier 6 for their semifinal game. But again, I will confirm as soon as we get confirmation. We don't know if there's anything that needs to be discussed. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to throw it to a quick commercial break, and then once they're done chatting, I will come back to you and let you know what the deal is. Hang tight. Alright, that was a quick commercial break. We are back with 60 seconds coming up for this next game. On the left side of the screen, you are going to see Goof Troop. And on the right side of your screen, you are going to see Tier 6. This is semifinal match number 1. So the winner of this match goes on to play the finals for the championship. Or for the, I guess, for first place. The loser of this game will go to the bronze match to play for third place. So the team that loses doesn't go home, but both of these teams want to win. So this one's going to be just as heated, and these are both great teams. So let me get your predictions on this one. This one's going to be tight. I'm curious what y'all think. Is it going to be Goof Troop, aka Obey number 2, or is it going to be Tier 6? Here we come. Tier 6 going straight for that flag off the break. Doesn't look like any players drop, so it's a 5v5 clean breakout. A Goof Troop player gets called out from the D2, and then one goes down at the snake at the same time. So I believe it's a 5v3 advantage for Tier 6. Goof Troop loses another player. So this Goof Troop player in the back manages to pick off one of the Tier 6 guys, but here comes the rundown. Oh, and they trade out. And I believe that's all for Goof Troop. So at this point, Tier 6 just has to confirm and then clean up. But no one's going to risk a crazy move without checking first. So they're going to take their time and make sure. And there you go. Game 1 is going to go to Tier 6. if Tier 6 wins this next game, they move on to the finals. If Goof Troop wins this next game, they go on to play the third game to see who wins this series. Alright, well, no team's moving up past that cube. Everybody's staying in the back. Again, no one wants to make a single mistake in this game. They are costly in this knockout stage. Goof Troop running the double home. Look to see one of those guys transition out to the cube at some point here. But for now, they're comfortable holding those two big gaps on the Snake and the Dorito side from that home. You see the Obey player telling his guys to calm down, you know, take a deep breath and breathe. And as I say that, he gets clipped. And then one of the double homes goes out as well, so it's now a 5v3 in favor of Tier 6. Obey's going to have to figure something out here. You can just see Tier 6 here has the whole field locked down. Tier Pasa making the move up. Gets to that center flag. He kills the D2. Gets clipped from the D1 though. Tier 6 still has at least 3 players up, and I want to say they're only against that Dorito 1 AirTac Customs player. Oh, never mind. There's one at the home as well. Oh, he gets the cojones bonus. Hanging the flag with the home player still alive. You love to see it. You love to see it. So I don't know if you guys caught that, but you don't see that very often. It's called the cojones bonus, which is when you hang the flag with an enemy player still alive. So the points don't necessarily matter for the tournament itself, but they will matter for standings in the rankings. So that's going to get them an extra, where is it, 15 points on top of whatever they got. So kudos to Tier 6 for having the heads up, you know, making that heads up play and hanging the flag instead of just shooting that guy. So, yeah, a little bit. So just getting that camera readjusted. Perfect. So, I think they might be discussing, but from what we saw, it would seem as if it's going to be Tier 6 moving on to the finals with Goof Troop, moving on to the bronze match. And that seems to be the case because I'm seeing the next teams walking onto the field. So we've got Ace that's going to be most likely on the right side of the field, and then you've got Obey going to be on the left side of the field again in those black and red jerseys, and the Ace team is mostly red on the right side. So let's just recap real quick. The winner of this match is going to go on to the to the finals, excuse me, to play against Tier 6. And the loser of this game is going to go to the bronze match to play Goof Troop. 60 seconds until this one gets underway. Jared, from the knowledge that I have, I believe DTP is done for the day. It seems as if they lost their first round to Obey. So the way it turns out in this tournament, they are done for the day. But that was a close match. They played well. And they are off. Ace getting straight up to that center 50. And then you've got Obey back there at the cube, taking a little bit more of a conservative approach. Clean break from both teams. I do not believe any players have gone down, so this should be a 5v5. You can just see the BBs bouncing off that AirTech Customs bunker. They are hunting that player. Obey loses their Dorito too as I say that. So I believe it's a 5v4 in favor of Ace. They definitely have at least 3 up. There might be a 4th that I don't have eyes on. Ace with 4 confirmed up. 3 in the back and 1 at that center 50. Again, neither of these teams giving an inch because no one wants to go down bodies and make a mistake. As I say that, Obey does make a bump up to that D2. And then you do see the 4th confirmed Obey player out there moving into the Snake. He is now in the Snake 1. So it is a 4-on-4 between these teams. You see a move up to the D3 from Obey. And then Obey does move up to that center 50 as well, starting to make movements, get field position, and Ace gets dropped from the tower. Oh, he doesn't see that player in the center, runs past and gets shot. Ace still up in that center 50. As I say that, their D2 goes down though. As does their center from the flag run, or the snake run. It may be a one-on-one situation, with 1 at the home and 1 at this D3 that's starting to move up. And it's a 2-on-1. The Obey player runs him down, trades him. There's 1 player alive still from Obey. He grabs the flag and hangs it for the win. curious to see how much the strategy's changed up. Ace was able to hold out there for quite a while. I just was at the end there when they started to get picked off. So, you know, I would maybe expect to see a similar strategy with just a little more aggression a little sooner. But again, a lot of these teams are going to play slower in this last stage because, you know, a loss here means a lot more than a loss in the first stage. Ace back to that center 50 again with Obey at the cube behind it. I saw an Ace player did walk off, so I believe it's a 5v4 in favor of Obey. So Ace, knowing they're down bodies, they need to make something happen here. Ace doing a good job of making sure both sides of the field are covered. You see the snake player for Obey. It looks like he might have just moved up a little bit to the snake 50. Because we don't see him anymore, at least at that back entrance. And yep, as I say that, he does move up to the end of the snake 50. Does retreat back to try and get an angle, but he's up there. Dangerous spot for Ace to let him live there. Obey makes a retreat back to that snake corner to help out his snake 50 player. And the D1 moves up to the D2 as the D3 player gets shot out from Obey. So we maybe tie bodies situation. That's what Ace needed. I don't have a clock with me, the game clock, but we got to be getting close. Oh, and as I say that, the Obey player goes to the center, kills out there his mirror, and stays alive. That's a huge move. Obey is back up in numbers. Obey starting to transition up the field. I want to say it's just these two players left for Ace. And with Obey getting to that cube, it's just a matter of time now. And then the tower player goes down, and there's the D2. They don't get the hang, but they're up in bodies, so I think they're going to take that one. What a final match for these two teams. So Obey is going to move on to the finals against Tier 6. And it looks like it's going to be Goof Troop versus Ace for the bronze match. I'm not sure which is going to be first, so we're about to find that out. Yeah, this is all assuming nothing changes. There were no penalties. We didn't see anything like that. Yeah, Zach, you could be right. You could be right. That one was less set in stone, and it does look like they're lining up to the walls again. So I believe we are going to game 3 from the looks of things. So it's not quite over yet for the Ace Boys. They got one more shot. So do or die again for both of these teams in terms of winning this event. Winner of this moves on to the finals for a chance at the trophy. Loser goes for a chance for third. You are right, a nail biter it is. Both teams going for the center flag. Obey gets shot off on the run. 5v4 advantage goes to Ace here. So for Ace, you've got somebody at the home, the D2, at the tower, the snake 1, and the center 50. Obey, you got a snake 1, you've got the cube, tower, and D2. And that D2 makes a bump to the D3, great move, spreads out the field. This is still anybody's round. Obey fills out to the D2 as well. We've got the mirror matchup at the center 50. Let's see who comes out on top. Oh, and Obey comes out on top with the center 50 exchange. Obey makes the rundown, does take 2 with him. The rest of Obey come and finish him off. And now it looks like Obey is going to take it. Yo! Alright. Yes. Alright, we got to tell these guys to quit hitting that wall, making our videographer's life difficult. But yeah, after that one, Obey is going to take that, assuming there's nothing we didn't see that went on. And they're going to be going to the finals against Tier 6 here. Yeah, what a series. Came down to the very end there. Alright, come on, man. The final set. Let's get the predictions. Is it Tier 6? Is it Obey? Who's going home with the gold? There we go, there we go, there we go. Alright, well, I guess I just don't know what's going on then. Because I'm watching DTP players walk onto the field, and I thought they were done for the day, so. I guess I'm just crazy, huh? It's alright, we'll get through it together. We'll work through this together as a group, as a fan. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. So like, I'm not connected via radio to the field, so I'm going based off of what y'all are going based off of, which is challenge. And yeah, from the looks of it, normally the way CSL works is it's a double elimination. So if you lose, you go down to the losers bracket. But I guess it was due to the number of teams. The way it worked out was it looked as if the losers of the first two games were done. But this could be like them replaying round 3 or something. I'm going to try and get confirmation for you guys as soon as I can. I'm sorry for the confusion. Looks like some friendly chirping going on down there, so it can't be too heated. But hey, whatever it is, we're about to watch some fun airsoft, so let's get it. Nobody opting to go for that X off break. We see a double up at the D2. I think that's the first time we see it. It doesn't work out, though. One of the players gets picked. Second player for DTP goes down as well. So I believe it's a 5v3 advantage on the side of either Goof Troop or Obey. I want to say that's Goof Troop. It's looking like one of the Goof Troop players might be having possibly gun issues. It's never fun. That's part of the game, man. You gotta pivot, you gotta adapt. Be a distraction. Do what you gotta do. So Goof Troop made a pretty big push down the field, was able to pick off the 2 last remaining players, and then the rest of their squad could just mosey on down, pick up the flag, and hang it. Yeah, we definitely have confirmation. I just heard them do a Goof Troop chant as well. So it's definitely Goof Troop versus DTP. So what it looks like is there was some sort of losers bracket. So maybe the challenge site isn't quite how it's running. Um, but that's what it's looking like. Again, both teams with conservative breakouts here. They'll be pushing for that center, that flag off break. Just holding their lanes. DTP still with the double home. Been there since the breakout. Again, on this layout, those are two big gaps, so it might make sense to hold that double for longer. Just something you don't see all the time. But as I say that, I noticed that Goof Squad is running the same thing, so must be a strong way to run the layout. Oh, and you see 3 DTP players go off on the screen at the same time, make that 4. Goof Squad just cleaning this one up. Hey, you got Infamous Beard in the chat. How's it going, man? Welcome. Oh, sorry about that, folks. Alright, so let's try and figure out what's about to happen next. Here, give me a second, guys. I'm going to try and run down there and get some answers as to what we're looking at here. Give me just a few minutes. All right, I got answers. I will explain after the round's over. We got ace on the left and looks like LSA on the right. LSA going for the flag off break. An ace player gets dropped from the D side. Looks like a 5v4 advantage the way of LSA. As these two teams kind of settle into their lanes, there is a new bracket. It is challenge.com/Big Guava 2. Big Guava 2. LSA loses their back right cube. LSA flag runner runs up, trades out with the D2. Their other players run up, kill the kill the tower. They're going to clean up, grab that flag, and hang it for the first round. So once again, I apologize for the confusion, folks. There is a new bracket. So if you go to challenge.com/Big Guava 2 TW0, Big Guava TW0, there will be a new bracket, and there is indeed a loser's bracket. So let me try and recap what's happened so far. So Goof Troop played LSA first game. Goof Troop won, so they advanced to round 2. LSA lost, so they went down to the loser's bracket. And then Obey versus DTP. Obey moved on to round 2. DTP went to the loser's bracket. Ace versus Obey. Ace lost. They went down to the loser's bracket. Obey moved on to the semifinals. Tier 6 Goof Troop. Tier 6 wins. They move on to the semifinals. Goof Troop went down to the loser's bracket. So the game we just watched was Goof Troop versus DTP, which was their first round of the loser's bracket. Goof Troop won, so they move on to round 2 of the loser's bracket. DTP lost, so they are done for the day. Now we have LSA versus Ace. We just watched the first game, so the winner of this goes on to round 2 of the loser's bracket, and the loser of this is done for the day. So this is a double elimination style tournament, as they normally are. Getting ready for game 2 here. LSA getting that flag straight off the break. Clean. Nobody died. So we are looking at a 5 versus 5 breakout. DTP making that transition out to the D3. That said, you see 4 ace players holding strong in the back, just making sure the entire field is under control. So there aren't too many moves that it looks like LSA can make without risk of getting picked off. That said, he makes it up to the D2 clean from the home. That was a big move from the LSA member, going all the way from, I think, the D3 to the Snake 1 in a single move. Manages to get there without getting hit. D1 bumps up to the D3. Again, just slowly working their way up the field. Still got ace, though, in those same 4 spots in the back. And he makes the rundown. Let's see what happens. Ace still has at least 2. Oh. Ace had 5 up that whole time, and they still have 4, it looks like. And that was pandemonium at the end, but Ace manages to clean it up with 3 players left alive, grab the flag, and go for the hang. What a chaotic match. And they're switching sides for another go. Do or die match for both of these teams. Loser is done for the day. And I know I've been wrong before, but I can say that with somewhat confidence with this new bracket. So look for some more slow, methodical play from these guys, which is how you should be playing it here at the very end when one lose and you're done. Ace has been going flag off break. Let's see if they continue to do so. Nope, they switch it up this time. LSA goes for it. Manages to stay alive, gets the flag. Nobody drops, it looks like. Another 5v5 breakout. Scratch that. One LSA player drops. 5v4 advantage to Ace. Both teams have settled into the groove here. They're looking to win their gunfights, to go up in bodies and make something happen. And no one's trying to make big moves when there's not a big numbers advantage here. Ace player with the move up to double this Dorito 3. I would look for a transition up, and he does to the Snake 50. He goes out while doing so, but manages to take out the center 50 with him. And the Ace home player gets dropped. So Ace with 2 players remaining, and I want to say 3 on the side of LSA. Yep, I can at least see 3 on the screen. And as I say that, Ace loses one of their 2. This final Ace player trying his best to hold things down. And that's the timer. So this game goes to stoppage time. From the looks of things, you know what? I'm just not even going to speculate. Let's see what happens. They update these brackets pretty quick. That's why I was surprised the other one wasn't updated. So I will let you guys know as soon as I get confirmation as to what happened in that final round, because the way it works is since it ended with stoppage time, it was due to however many players were left and points. So we're going to see what the tally comes out to. Alright, they've come in. It is official. LSA took that one 2-1. So LSA has moved on to the second round of the losers bracket. Ace, unfortunately, is done for the day. Hey, we got Australia in the chat. Trick, welcome. Thank you for joining us, man. You joined at a good time. We were getting to the thick of it. About to find out who's going to take home the gold, silver, and bronze here in just a bit. Hey, Chase in the chat. Let's go. What's up, my man? Alright, so let's see what we've got. That was game 5 and 6. So up next should be LSA versus Goof Troop. I would imagine they're going to give them a little breather to reload, catch their breath, and I would think they'll get back out there in maybe the next 5-10 minutes. I'm kind of speculating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to commercial, just so y'all don't have to look at an empty field, and I will be back as soon as they're getting ready. Hang tight. ladies and gentlemen, we just heard the 2-minute warning go over the speakers, so we should see the other team start walking out here any minute. This one, it looks like, is going to be, according to the bracket, LSA versus Goof Troop. Playing round 2 of the losers bracket here. And it's called a losers bracket, but again, none of the teams out here, especially in this final stage, are losers by any means in terms of how they play. Like, all these teams are heaters. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, any one of them could take games off of each other with the right strats and the right moves. So, we about to see how this is going to turn out, folks. One-minute warning. Alright, let's go. LSA Goof Troop. Game 1. LSA going for the flag off break. It does not pay off, though. They lose a second player, it looks like, as well. So from the looks, it may be 5 versus 3 advantage to Goof Troop. That said, I did see a Goof Troop player walk off, so it's either 4v3, maybe even 3v3 at this point. See the snake player from LSA get out as well. And Goof Troop's starting to transition up. He does get shot at about the 50-yard line, though. I see at least one player from each team still alive. And the Goof Troop player runs him down, gets the kill clean. Still got another player alive as well, and they're going to close that out for game 1. Chase, I'm sure that was an older question. You might have already gotten confirmation, but yes, Tier 6 is still playing. They should be the next game in the semifinals against Obey. Alright, man, 10 seconds, game 2. LSA getting to that flag again. This time clean. As I say that, an obey player gets called out. I don't think it was a penalty, but it looks like 5v4 advantage for LSA. Another Goof Troop player goes out, and I'm sorry if they called him obey. I mean Goof Troop. That should be a 5v3 advantage for LSA. Goof Troop filling out from the Dorito side to the Snake side, getting to that tower. And the home player for LSA gets shot out. LSA also loses their flag player, but at the same time, Goof Troop loses their home. Goof Troop's got that Snake 2 player in a nice spot to catch people off guard. It looks like he's trying to make the move up. I don't think they... Oh, he does get clipped. Unfortunate. Unfortunate for him, I should say. Alright, LSA picking up the D2 and D3 spots. Tries to transition up. Looks like he trades with a player. LSA still got one guy up making his way down. I think he's just going to clear the field and make sure everybody's out. And then go grab that flag. Switching sides for another go. As if some sort of penalty was assessed on Goof Troop. I didn't see the flag, so I'm not exactly sure where. Alright, yeah, and based off of that, it does look like Goof Troop is going to start this game with 4 players. So it's going to be, from what it looks like, a 4v5 breakout in favor of LSA before the horn even goes. But that being said, yeah, no, it looks like 4. Looks like 4 for Goof Troop. Not the end of the world, but definitely not ideal. Let's see what they make out of it. There's a good chance it was that cube player we saw get pulled, but you never know. LSA makes it clean to the flag again. I didn't see anybody walk off, so it should be a 5v4 advantage for LSA. Goof Troop does fill out to that snake corner cube. They've got good coverage of the field. And because LSA is doubling this home, you know, they're basically covering the same number of bunkers, but that being said, they did just fill out to the D2, spreading out the lanes a bit more. Goof Troop tries to fill out from the D2 to the D3, gets caught. So besides this center 50 player, it doesn't like too many players are past the Dorito 2 right now. People are playing conservatively, not wanting to make any mistakes, get too far out, and get chopped up from the side. And no team wanting to give the other an inch. Alright, and an LSA player goes down from the Dorito 2. Goof Troop trying to reposition, get some different angles, try and pick these people off. Bumping up to the D3. Oh, LSA has a snake player that caught both of them slipping. And that's the timer. So let's try and get an idea of how many people are left on the field. It's hard to say. I want to say LSA has more members up, but it's hard to say for certain. Either way, that was a nail biter. Let you guys know as soon as we have confirmation as to the last round. Alright, and it is official. According to Challenge, LSA took that one 2-0. So LSA will be moving on. They will be in round 3 of the losers bracket against the loser of the next game, which is the semifinals between Tier 6 and Obey. Tier 6 in the all black, Obey in the black and red. It looks like Obey will be lining up on the left side of your screen, and Tier 6 will be lining up on the right for this first breakout. Now, this one is going to be a heater. I'm excited to see this match. Both teams are aggressive, both teams know when to play conservatively, and both teams get a lot of points. So, this one is going to be good. Come on, man. Let's get some predictions. Who's taking this one? Tier 6 or Obey? This guy. This guy. M1, yes. This is the semifinals. Semifinals. Winner of this goes on to the finals. And the loser of this goes on to the third round of the loser's bracket. So the loser of this one isn't out. They still have a chance. But yeah. They're going to have to play one more and win it at a chance to get to the final. Hey man, these are the two teams y'all have been saying the most are going to take this thing, so if there's a round to watch besides the finals, it's this one. Let's get hype. Tier 6 making it to the flag. Obey mirrors, and they both trade each other out. Tier 6 does get the grab, though, which will go in their favor if it comes down to stoppage time. That said, it should be a 4 versus 4 breakout right now for both teams. Oh, and you see the Obey player at the tower getting taken out from the snake side. Obey able to make that move up to the D3 clean. I'm not sure if anyone saw him make it there either, so he might have a chance to pick some people off. At the same time, back snake fills up to that tower, getting good field position. Tier Pasa gets taken out at the tower. Obey making things happen, making it to that cube behind the center. Tier 6 still has a D1 up for sure, and a home player as well, and a D2. So that's 3 up for Tier 6. And I'm not sure if Obey has a third player as well. There's 2 confirmed. Oh, and the Obey player at the D3 gets clipped. Tier 6 going to look to capitalize. They do. They take out that center cube player, and at this point, they're going to systematically work their way up and close this out, you would think. And they do. Tier 6 takes round 1 of the semifinals. I'm sure both of these teams are going over their strats right now, trying to figure out what it's going to take to close it out. Again, Tier 6, if they win this next game, should be moving on to the finals. Obey, if they win this next game, they have one more chance and go to the third game. Oh, geez. Looks like Tier 6 making some last-minute runs to the pits. Hopefully they get to the wall in time. It looks like they do. Let's see if they're flustered, if they can still close it out. Both players going to the X. The tier 6 player gets dropped, but Obey stays in. That being said, at the same time, the back player at the home for Obey drops, as well as the tier 6 Dorito. So I believe it is one body advantage for Obey at the moment. Obey makes a move up to the D3. Oh, tier 6, their home player gets dropped. At the same time, we see an Obey player walking off. Obey filling from that cube out to the D3. Solid move. They still have that center 50 player as well. Tier 6 with at least 2 back players that we can still see. And you see that Obey also has a player in the snake. So Obey has the field spread out, but they are pushed up the field pretty well. Depending on who you ask, that may or may not give them the advantage. They take out the D3 on Obey. Tier 6 bumping up to that D3. Killing the center player. Stayed alive. Oh, he did get dropped eventually, though. Tier 6 battling the snake player. This may be a 1v1. And the tier 6 player gets dropped. Obey stays alive. He's got to find that flag and hang it before the time runs out. And he does. What a nail biter. We are moving on to game 3. Do or die time. All right, here we go. Tier 6 makes it to the center. Queen grabs the flag. Didn't see any players walk off. It's like a 5 versus 5 breakout. As I say that, the Dorito 2 for tier 6 gets taken out. Obey loses a player from the back. I believe that's their home player that goes down. I believe we're down to even numbers. Obey making a big move from the D1 to the D3. Made it there clean. Oh, and the tier 6 player at the center gets taken out. Both teams with at least 3 confirmed up that we can see. Again, neither team giving an inch here. Just trying to win gun battles to get up in numbers, make something happen. Obey does make a move up to the center 50. Yeah, you hear somebody say we need to do something here. Waiting for another body to go down. As I say that, Obey makes a big move up the field. Doesn't kill the Dorito player. Gets killed. His teammate runs down and follows up. Manages to take out that Dorito, but at the same time, player tries to bump to the center and gets killed. And I think that's stoppage time. A very hectic end to a slow and methodical match. Again, I don't want to guess. I don't want to speculate as to what happened. So maybe throw your guesses in the chat, but I'll let you know as soon as I get confirmation here on the screen. What do y'all think? Who do you think took it? Alright, confirmation came through. Tier 6 took that one 2-1. So Tier 6 has moved on to the finals. For all of my Obey fans, hope is not lost. Obey is up next against LSA in the final round of the losers bracket. So the way that works is the winner of that goes on to play Tier 6 in the finals. So Obey still has a shot at the gold. They just got to win one more game first. So I have a feeling they're going to give them another little 5-minute break to reload, rest, catch their breath. So I'm going to throw it to a commercial until we're ready to come back for some games. So see y'all in a bit. folks, we are back. We got 30 seconds up until this final game of the losers bracket. We've got Obey on the right side of your screen in red and black. Right side of your screen in red and black is Obey. Left side of your screen is LSA in the black and white. Do or die game for these teams. Loser is done for the day. Winner goes on to play Tier 6 for the championship. That said, the loser does still take home bronze, so we're looking at 2 podium teams here, but which one is going to have a chance to take gold, we're about to find out. Okay, we might have just a brief delay while they do final checks before they start. Stay hydrated out there. Alright, we got a minute until the breakout. Oh, y'all, post the link on your stories. Let's get some people in here. These are about to be 2 tight, heated matches of airsoft. Doesn't get much better than this. Alright, both teams opting to go straight for the flag off break. That being said, LSA stayed alive. The Obey player gets dropped. I believe at this point it's a 5-on-4. I didn't see anybody walk off. Anybody else walk off. Oh, the Obey player gets clipped going from the D1 to either the 2 or the 3. There are 3 players left up for Obey. At least 4 confirmed for LSA. Or, yeah, LSA. Obey making a good move from that home out to the D corner to hold down the field a little bit easier. The LSA player in the back right corner, the Dorito 1, gets clipped. He walks off. So they still have a Dorito 2 and a home confirmed. And then they've also got a dude at the cube, player at the cube pushed up. So they've got 3 at least. Obey manages to get one of their players up to the D3. Like the snake player from Obey pushes up to the next opening of the snake, looking inside. Oh, that snake player transitions up even further, gets to the next spot. Oh, and you see the Obey player run down, take out a couple of LSA players with him, but then he gets clipped. So at this point, we got at least the LSA player in the D3, or the Obey player in the D3 for LSA. We've got a home and a snake. Oh, he runs down the snake, takes out one, takes out both. Is he still alive, or did he get traded out? He did. Does he have players to clean it up, or is that a trade? That's the question. It looked like LSA might have still had players up, but it's hard to say for certain. I just heard Keegan say through the glass, LSA wins that round on points. So from that, it sounds like LSA is up 1-0. They win one more, and they're moving on to the finals. Yep, yeah, Zach, good call. Since they did get flagged first and everybody ended up killing everybody, everything else being equal, the fact that they got the flag first gets them the edge. LSA makes it to the flag off the break. I didn't see anybody walk off. We should be in a 5-on-5 situation. Obey is doubling up. LSA, excuse me, is doubling up the home. They're both wearing very black jerseys. It's kind of hard to tell. But on the right side of the screen should be LSA. Right side of the screen, LSA. Left side of the screen, Obey. LSA still with the double home. Obey looks like they don't have anybody at home. They've moved out to the corners. Oh, and the move up to the center. Obey takes out their center player, stays alive while doing so. That's a big move by them. I don't know if you guys caught that. One of the Obey players tossed a mag to his teammate. That's teamwork at its finest there, folks. He moves up to the D3 from the D1. So with this, Obey just has most of the field locked down, and from the looks of it, they have 5 up. They haven't lost anybody all game. So just doing what they have to do to slowly pick people off. Oh, you see that jump over the snake? That was clean. Gets into that cross. Alright, and you see another player from LSA get taken out on the snake side. So they're going to look to make their moves here. And they close it out. Alright, we are going to game 3. 1-1. Figurative do or die time for these teams. Loser's done for the day. Winner goes on for the championship. For the first place trophy, I should say, for this Big Guava Major 2023. I have to say, it's been a heater. The talent is very high. It's very deep. I said it before, I'll say it again. Most of these teams can take games off of each other any given day. So it's always exciting to watch. So you're going to see Obey on the right side of your screen. Again, they have a little bit of red. And then LSA and the all black on the left. Obey right, LSA left. Game 3 coming up here in 20 seconds. Off. LSA trying to make that move to the center. They do. A little bit of a yard sale there. Hope he's alright. He looks like he is. Make sure his gun is up and running. I didn't see anybody else. Actually, it looks like possibly a player on the side of Obey may have walked off. You see someone there in the dead box. It's hard to tell. Obey bumping up from the D1 to the D3. You also see that player playing over top of the cube, trying to get intel as well as catch somebody off guard. Sorry folks, sometimes I think the screen is freezing. These players are playing so still. Again, no one's giving an inch. Obey does start making moves up the snake to get different positioning. LSA calls him out that they know he's in the snake too. Oh, this D3 player is looking for an angle on the center. His player kind of acts as a shield while running up. He makes it to that cross clean. I don't even know if they know he's there. He catches somebody from that cross. You see him, he made it all the way up to that snake without being seen. An Obey player drops. That Obey player that made it up to the enemy side gets picked off. We may be in another... No, we are not. We're not in a one-on-one. LSA has at least two, one in the D1 in the home. Obey's got this center 50 player. LSA also has a snake, so it may be a 3v1. And they take him out. They trade out. They still have players up. They're just going to clear the field, make sure there's nobody hiding. Alright folks, I'm just trying to decipher that ending there. Figure out exactly who took it. I think I know, but I don't want to be wrong and say it. So let's just wait and get confirmation. Throw your guesses in there. Who do you think took that? with me. Just waiting on final confirmation. Oh, yes. I'm out here clicking refresh on the challenge like I'm waiting for a hype drop. Let me see if I can get confirmation, folks. I'm sure they're going to take a little break before the finals anyway, so I'm going to throw it to a commercial, and I will be back once we get word on who is moving on to the finals. Hang tight. Alright, folks, confirmation has just come through. That was a tight match, but the final matchup is going to be between Tier 6 and LSA. LSA took that last round 2-1. So, very close round, hard fought all around. But we have our finals, folks. It's going to be Tier 6 versus LSA for the gold. Let's get some predictions. There's two options now. Who y'all got? Y'all got Tier 6, you got LSA. I'll let you guys chat amongst yourselves because, again, we will be taking a break. But yeah, Obey takes home the bronze for the CSL 2023 Big Guava Major. And we're about to find out who's taking home the silver and the gold. I'm going to send you to commercials and we will be back. Hang tight. Alright folks, we are back. The moment we have all been waiting for. The finals of the 2023 CSL Airsoft Big Guava Major. Hosted by CSL Airsoft at CIA Tampa. Again, great field. If you're in the area, definitely come check them out. On the right side of your screen, you're going to see Tier 6 in the black. On the right side of your screen, you are going to see LSA in the black and gray. They're both kind of wearing black. Tier 6 more in the t-shirt style, LSA more in the jersey style. Let's get it. Oh. There we go. LSA loses a player. Tier 6 does as well. Looks like a 4v4. Tier 6 getting up to the enemy, to the 50-yard line. Seems like he's out in the open, but it all depends on where the enemy is. He may be perfectly safe there, and it looks like he is. His teammates are coming up behind him looking to close this out. Tier 6 runs down, clears out the last player in the snake. They're going to go hang the flag for game 1. Now, one difference from the finals, this is a best-of-5 series. So, a team must win 3 games in order to win the finals. Now, LSA has lost once. So, if LSA loses, then it's over. That being said, to my knowledge, Tier 6 has not lost yet today. So if LSA beats Tier 6 in the first best-of-5, then they must play them again for second best-of-5, because you have to lose twice to be eliminated from the tournament. Yep, so Tier 6 is undefeated, that's confirmed, and LSA has 1 loss in this final stage. So again, Tier 6 must lose this best-of-5 series twice in order for LSA to take home the gold. Tier 6 up 1-0 in this best-of-5 series. Both players go for the center off break. We get a flag thrown on LSA. The TSA or the Tier 6 player at the center stays alive. Big move. Tier 6 just communicating the count right now, making sure everybody's on the same page with what the plan is. As I say that, their D1 player does get clipped and taken out. See the communication from Tier 6, trying to get their players in the right positions to get these kills. LSA moves a snake player up into the snake, and when that happens, Tier 6 Dread makes that move to the corner. So they're going to be able to hold that guy in. So LSA definitely has a home player and a snake player. You heard Tier 6 call that out. So they know where they're both at, and I don't know if they have any other players alive. It looks like it's a 2v5 situation in favor of Tier 6. They call out that the snake moved back to 1, and that was a good call because they shoot him out instantly. At the same time, they do bump out to that wide Dorito 1 bunker. That may be the last player alive for LSA at this point. Oh, now you still got a Dorito 1. Oh, and he shoots out Wavy. Shoots out Matt as well. And the Tier 6 player runs him down and kills him. They still had one up that was able to grab the flag and hang it. So Tier 6 is up 2-0 in this series. All Tier 6 needs to do is take home one more game, and they are Big Guava 2023 champions. It's not over for LSA. There's a road back, but it's a long one. They got to strap in and be prepared for a battle. They got to win 3 straight and then win another best of 5 if they want to go home with gold. But I've seen it. It's possible.
I'll close it out.
And they're off. Tier 6 to the center flag again. Their back players slow walking up to their bunkers, holding lanes as they do so. They make it clean. Didn't see anybody walk off. We are 5 versus 5. Oh, Tier 6 loses their tower player. That's a big kill. LSA may have a player in the snake that we can't see. Otherwise, it might be a 4-on-4 scenario, if not 5v4 in their favor. Yeah, so it looks like it's a 4 versus 4. Make that a 4 versus 3 in favor of LSA. They shoot out the home player. And now they've got a numbers advantage. Let's see what they do with it. Because you got to remember, Tier 6 grabbed that flag first. So even if they run out the clock with more bodies up, they got to make sure they're up by enough to counteract that flag points. Or those flag points, excuse me. LSA got to make something happen here. They're planning it. They're planning something. All right, let's see what this move is that these guys are planning. Again, this is do or die for them. And as it stands now, if the time runs out, I think they still lose this match. Well, Chase, it's not a wrap if they manage to take him out and hang him, but they do end up taking out Wavy, and they're starting to make a push up towards this flag. They've got to be keeping their mind on the clock. Oh, that Dorito 2 player, he knows he's coming. They trade out. Alright, it's just a matter of time now. LSA got to make a move for this hang. I don't know if there's another player even up, or if they just don't know. Alright. So, from my math, that would tell me that Tier 6 took that one, but we were going to wait for confirmation. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the way it works is LSA would have had to kill all Tier 6 players and hang that flag in order to not lose that round at that point. So we still don't have official confirmation, but from the looks of the players out there, it looks pretty clear that Tier 6 took that one. I will tell you when that is completely set in stone. Yeah, first draft plus first 15, it's pretty much confirmed.
Because Matt is running around.
Yeah. No, I know. Alright, folks, it is official. According to Challenge, Tier 6 is your 2023 CSL Big Guava Major champions. This has been Bert bringing you the commentary. My man Dan back here on the technical difficulties, fixing those cameras every time everyone was banging on the wall. Thanks for joining us. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is us signing off, and our next one is coming up at EA Fest. It's going to be the finals, so you're not going to want to miss it. EA Fest is a vibe anyway. A lot of vendors, a lot of fun. People from all over travel, so come out and see us in person, but if not, catch us on the stream. Y'all have a good night.